Once upon a time, in a world where cats ruled the night, there lived a ginger cat named Mom. Now, Marmalade was no ordinary cat. He had dreams, big dreams. While other cats were content chasing mice or taking leisurely naps in sunbeams, Marmalade yearned for more. He wanted to be rich, richer than any cat he knew. One day, while prowling for something shiny to add to his collection, he discovered an old, worn-out shoebox nestled between some flower pots on a windowsill. Curiosity piqued. He pried open the lid and found a single, strange-looking button inside. It wasn't anything particularly beautiful or valuable. In fact, it looked quite ordinary except for one peculiar detail. The frenzy continued until every last drop of gold had been extracted from the once bountiful button. And now, with the spectacle over, she decided to speak. "My friends," she began, her voice echoing with wisdom, "you have just witnessed the folly of greed. In your haste to amass wealth, you failed to appreciate the value of what you already had. You forgot that true happiness lies not in material possessions, but in contentment and gratitude." And when that happened, the cats were left staring at their shriveled-up prizes, their eyes wide with disbelief and despair. They understood her words, yet couldn't bring themselves to agree. "Yes," he whispered, realizing the depth of his folly. "But sometimes we need to stumble a few times before we learn it. I gave away the very thing that could have brought me lasting happiness, chasing after a hollowed version of it. Greed had them in its clutches, and the memory of the golden fish still burned brightly in their minds. One by one, they came to Athena seeking guidance, and she offered it freely. Soon, a sense of tranquility returned to the community. The cats no longer craved the golden fish or the button that made them. Instead, they focused on building genuine connections and finding contentment in the present moment. It seemed to glow faintly from within, emitting a soft, inviting light. Too much of a good thing can be wonderful, unless it isn't. Mae West he started small, appreciating the simple joys in life. A warm patch of sunlight, the feel of the wind in his fur, and the companionship of his fellow cat. Have you ever been so focused on achieving a goal that you didn't stop to appreciate what you already had? Share your experiences in the comments. We'd love to hear from you. He even began to find pleasure in the hunt, savoring the thrill of the chase rather than just the satisfaction of a full meal. An exclusive, never-before-seen animation to thank you for your constant support. Not all that glitters is gain. Here at our studio, we put a lot of love and care into every video we make, but now we're taking it to the next level with our brand new series, Silent Lessons. These specially crafted stories, each with their own unique animation style, aim to teach valuable life lessons without ever saying a word. It's our way of sharing our love for animation and our belief in the power of visual storytelling. Every time he saw its faint glow, he remembered the folly of letting desire consume him. The joy of a full belly is far more valuable than any pile of fish, no matter how gilded. Together, we can continue to explore the fascinating world of animation and all the valuable lessons it has to teach. Unable to resist its allure, Marmalade nudged the button with his paw. "I let my greed cloud my judgment, and I'm sorry." The tale of the golden fish became a legend, a cautionary story whispered among the cats to remind them that true happiness lay not in material wealth, but in living each day to the fullest, appreciating the beauty around them and cherishing the bonds they shared. And then something extraordinary happened. They had learned that while the allure of gold might be strong, it was the warmth of friendship and the richness of the soul that truly mattered. Ask yourself whether the pursuit of wealth and luxury will bring you lasting joy, or if, like Marmalade, you'll find true happiness in the simpler things in life. A shower of golden fish materialized out of thin air, each one shimmering like a tiny sun. Only Marmalade, the one who had found the button, felt a pang of regret. He remembered the initial wonder he had felt when he first discovered button and the pure joy he had experienced when the golden fish had cascaded down upon him. Can you see now that the true treasure was the joy and wonder you experienced when you first discovered the button? But in his haste to become richer than all the other cats, he had lost sight of the wonder, squandering it away until there was nothing left but a pile of worthless trinkets. Overjoyed, Marmalade quickly realized that this was no ordinary button. It was a source of endless wealth. Each press produced a new batch of glistening fish, enough to satisfy the appetite of even the most discerning feline gourmet. At first the fish were large and plentiful, their scales practically heavy with gold. With each passing day, Marmalade's stash grew. He lavished them on his fellow cats, showering his entire community with riches. All the cats, initially skeptical, soon became ardent admirers of this magical button. They gathered around it, their eyes gleaming with avarice, eagerly awaiting their turn to collect the golden bounty. The spectacle lasted for what seemed like an eternity, a never-ending stream of golden fish gushing forth at the mere touch of a cat's paw. But as time went on, a change began to occur. The fish started to shrink. Initially, the reduction was barely noticeable, just a slight dimming of their golden sheen. Yet as the days turned into weeks, the decline became more evident. The fish became smaller and dimmer, their numbers dwindling with each press of the button. Panic started to set in among the cats. They pressed the button frantically, desperately trying to maximize their gains, before it was too late. Among them was an old, wise owl named Athena. She had watched silently as the cats descended into their frantic, greedy frenzy. The cats looked up at her, their faces etched with remorse. Athena continued, "True wealth, my dear felines, comes not from the size of one's hoard, but from the richness of one's spirit." Her words hung in the air, but the cats remained unconvinced. Marmalade shuffled away from the others and approached Athena. "You are right," he said quietly, ashamed for his actions. Athena nodded understandingly. "We all make mistakes, Marmalade," she said softly, "but the important thing is to learn from them." Marmalade looked at the button lying uselessly in his paws. A shadow of a smile touched Athena's beak. "It's a valuable lesson indeed," she said. With newfound clarity, Marmalade resolved to change his ways. The other cats, seeing his transformation, began to question their own choices. As for the button, it remained in Marmalade's possession, not as a symbol of greed, but as a reminder of an important lesson. Years passed, and Marmalade, once the greediest cat in town, became known for his wisdom and serenity. For Marmalade and the other cats, the lesson had been costly, but it had been worth it. So if you ever come across a shiny, glowing button, remember the tale of the cats and the golden fish. And as always, dear viewer, I leave you with this. Now, here's a question for you. And since you've made it to the end of our story, we have a special treat for you. So go ahead, click that like button and subscribe for more silent lessons. And here's a little sneak peek of what you can expect. Thank you for joining us on this journey. See you in the next adventure.